All right, so we're back. This is the first training session after my jiu-jitsu training. So I used to train jiu-jitsu and do strength training, but it's been a couple of weeks, so my body has sort of deconditioned itself. And so the squats, I'm not gonna lie, it felt pretty heavy. I thought the bar speed was moving pretty slow, but now that I'm reviewing the footage, it's not moving so bad. And so you, I would say though that it definitely does take a toll as you get older. And I'm not trying to say that to make an excuse for myself, but it is an observation that I have made. But of course, one should continue to strength train as hard as they can and condition themselves as hard as they can while training for their own respective sports, right? So squats, 205, moving, I guess, decently well. And of course, it can't be helped that the weight's gonna feel harder and more fatiguing as time goes on. Um, I would say though that the thing that I noticed is I think there needs to be sort of an what's the word? Like there kind of needs to be a trade-off, right? Like if you want to be a good strength lifter, then you need to have a little bit more frequency. But if you want to be a better athlete in whatever sport, then you kind of need to balance that with your strength training. So I'm still kind of, going back and forth between twice a week versus 3 times a week, but, I'll figure that out later. Um, the overhead press is actually one of the first lift that I am now starting to slow down. So normally I would do 3 sets of 5, but as you'll see in the third set, I was unable to complete the full 5 reps. So I had to break it up into 3 reps, then finish the remaining two a couple of minutes later, which, isn't surprising since the press is going to be the first lift to quickly stall out in the linear progression. But, that's part of the game, I suppose. I would say that I'll probably just kind of stay at 120 until I feel stronger. So, feel stronger is, to me, I objectively define it as like, hey, if I did 5 reps, then I did 3 and 2. Well, I'm going to kind of stay at it till I get maybe the full 5 reps, or maybe a 4 and 1, or whatever progression that I'm making, right? Because progression is not only just made on what weights you're lifting, but also in terms of it could be progression in terms of more sets, more reps, or just bar speed. So maybe you'll do 3 sets of 5, but if the bar is moving faster than it before, you are getting stronger. But it's just more, it's not as objectively defined because it's not like most people have one of those bar speed meter reading or whatever. But anyways, that's enough yapping for today. So thanks, guys.